Hi, my name is Norman Meier and welcome to Internet Marketing Success. Business has changed. We are drowning in information while starving for wisdom. Today, businesses everywhere are struggling to change and adapt. Consumers are hanging on to their money in a different way and they need a different level of relationship. Yet, in the middle of it, technology has created some brand new opportunities to serve customers in a totally new way. If you are the owner of a business or you're looking to start a business or you are thinking, I have a great career, but I need another opportunity, then this program is for you. This program should encourage you to build an online business and give you the right tools and insights. Today is your greatest opportunity. To the business owners right now who is struggling, you are lucky that the traditional marketing strategies are failing you because it's going to fail you eventually. And you might as well go ahead and get it over with and start to do it the right way. The riches generated from doing it the right way and the bond that you will have with your customers is so great that once you experience it, it's actually unbelievable. Eventually, you'll be in a situation where you don't even have to actively sell. So remember, the world is changing and the way we make money has changed. The internet has changed the economy. We are in the information age and people pay money for information. 85% of all buying decisions are influenced by the internet. Many jobs have become obsolete and people are out of work. Some people have suffered under this change and the old ways of making money and winning customers no longer work. But with every change, there are new winners. People who take advantage of the new possibilities have made more money faster than it was possible ever before. Frank Kern has made $18 million in 24 hours of launching a new product. Jeff Walker made $1 million in just 1 hour with his product launch formula program. And there are countless examples of people who have harnessed the power of the internet and excelled financially. You can fight the change or you can adapt to it and profit. The choice is yours. The internet has several major advantages. First, speed of communication, low cost of communication and marketing, interactivity to reach the worldwide market. These are advantages that have never existed before in business. You can reach hundreds of thousands of people with your message in just a matter of seconds. You can advertise to the entire world, which was logistically impossible in the past. Today, the internet offers new and never before opportunities to create a business from the comfort of your home. This program summarizes some of the main principles that can help you to make money online. One idea or one tip can change everything. The keys to the success are a single piece of information, a single idea at the right time in the right situation, and it all can change your life. And the same is true for your business success. Sometimes changing one thing can make all the difference. I hope that you might find a few great tips in this program here so I can help you to improve your business success. I want to encourage you to follow your heart and live your dream, and you can make money with the things that you love by starting your own online business. Online marketing has changed in the recent years. And marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department. So in order to be successful in business, especially online, you need to understand how to use marketing techniques to generate new sales. Most old school sales and marketing letters were based on words that triggered emotions, based on human behavior, needs, and psychological sales techniques. But the world is changing and customers have become more and more sophisticated. They know immediately when someone is trying to sell them something or if the company is using cheap sales techniques that the customer has heard like 1,000,000 times before. Trust has become a huge factor and people don't believe the BS anymore that some try to put out there. So in order to create the perfect sales and marketing message, you must be smarter. You must understand exactly how buyers make decisions and use new process that is non-threatening and low risk in the beginning. But it's not just the message that counts, it is mainly the process. If I were to ask you to spend $10,000 without you knowing me or having made any kind of experience or transaction before, let's say to improve your business, you would probably laugh at me and certainly not spend that kind of money. But if I asked you to buy my report, let's say for $9.95, then the risk is almost non-existent and you would probably take advantage of my offer if it were beneficial to you, right? So customers are much more demanding today, and you must first provide some sort of value in advance for free before you can sell them something else. People want to first get to know you and understand what you can do for them before they are willing to spend any money on products and services. And there are way too many options for them available, and in order to compete in this market, you must change your approach. Business has only two functions, which is marketing and innovation. And the main problem with the internet today is that there's too much information available and it is easy to get confused. The second problem is that there are too many bad wannabe gurus that promote old and obsolete strategies that are no longer effective. They make false promises and they never really had any success on their own. The main product that they are selling is their own online learning system. And during the gold rush in California from 1848 to 1855, the people making most money were not the people looking for gold, but the people who sold the equipment, like, for example, the shovels. So most people teaching internet marketing are shovel sellers. So if you want to make money online, you need to learn from the best, and from the best only. And these people are, first, Russell Brunson, and he has the book .com Secrets. Jeff Walker, his book is called Launch. Frank Kern, John Reese, Eben Pagan, Dean Jackson. I would suggest that you buy their programs and learn their strategies. You can then reverse engineer what is actually working and making money and tailor it to your products and services. Reverse engineering means that you go through the process of becoming a client of a product that you actually like, that you're willing to buy. And then you figure out what the individual steps were to get you to buy that product. And then you copy those steps for your own products and services. And the main reason why this is important is because it is a strategy that actually works and that even you got convinced with. Just remember, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Other people have spent years and thousands of dollars trying to figure out what works, and the best way to be successful is to copy the strategies of the people who are most successful. They already did the work for you. A typical way of making money online. The main marketing channels today are, first, YouTube, second, Facebook ads, third, Google ads. So first, you need to place an ad online with one of these three channels. And a person clicks on your ad, and then he's led to a landing, or also called squeeze page. And this page has the sole purpose of capturing his email address, and in return, he will get a free online PDF report or free educational video. After you have his email address, you are using an automatic email responder system, like for example Aweber or Infusionsoft, and you can send out messages to his personal email and start with the actual marketing campaign. But unfortunately, simply running an ad and having a squeeze page might not always get you the desired results. The system that you are using is the key. This means that you have to have a process in place that generates leads of interested people first, and then you turn them into clients eventually by sending them emails, valuable videos, and finally making offers to buy something from you. And this process is called the sales funnel. Let's say 100 people give you their email, and 2 of them actually become clients later on. So you have a 2% success rate in this case. Humble beginnings. If you're like most people, you have a dream of building your online business, but you have no idea on how to actually make it work. And most people start with zero names and a zero product or no product. And if that is the case, don't worry. Remember, all the great successful online marketers who made millions were once exactly in the same position as you are now. John Rees had over 107,000 in credit card debt, and he ended up making over $1 million in one single day online. Of course, this was no overnight success. He had to learn, build up his list, and eventually got to a point where this was all possible. But if someone has done something like that before, you can do it as well. You just need to find out what the other person has done, learn, and then do the same things. In an interview series from Anthony Robbins, and it's called The New Money Masters, he talks about how you should start and then set little goals like making $1 at first. And if you can create a business model that generates at least $1 in profit, then this is the first step. Secondly, expand and duplicate your efforts. For example, try to make enough money to pay for your electricity bill, let's say. After that, you can include your rent and so forth. So John Rees says that you simply need to test your online strategy, and if you can prove your concept by simply making $1, then you know your strategy is basically working. All you have to do afterwards is to tweak it and to improve it. And he says that internet marketing is basically like running a lemonade stand. You invest $3 for the lemonade in the beginning. You sell 1 cup for $1. If you sell 10 cups, then your profit is $7. So money coming in says, I've made the right marketing decisions. You also need to invest into marketing and ads on the internet, but in today's day and age, it is a fraction of the cost compared to what it used to be. The leverage and the amount of people that you can reach are unbelievable. A daily test on Google or Facebook can cost anywhere between $5 and $20, and that is nothing compared to running an ad in the good old days. Testing, eliminating, and improving will lead to success, one small step at a time. If something doesn't work, maybe it was the wrong strategy, and you will know immediately. In the old days, you might have had to spend thousands of dollars, and you had to wait months to see if your ad was giving you any return. And by creating a business where you can pay for your everyday life and complement your other existing income, will build up self-confidence and knowledge to eventually live completely from your online business. Let's look at Frank Kern's example. He says, give the people what they want, not what you think they should have. The cool thing with Google AdWords is that you can see what people are looking for on the internet. There are ways to find out what is most popular or what the most popular searches are, and you can see how many people were looking for a particular phrase that day. Frank Kern, an internet marketing guru who made $18 million in 24 hours on the internet, started exactly this way. He was looking for the most popular searches, and he found that 80,000 people were looking for how to get your parrot to talk. He knew nothing about parrots whatsoever, and then he went on elance.com and hired a vet who specialized in parrots to write a book about the topic. And it cost him about $600 to have that book written, and he sold that program for thousands of dollars. And he simply gave the market and the people what they were looking for. Capture their email address first. Some companies create wonderful looking websites, but they are ineffective. Potential customers check out the beautiful website, and then after a few minutes, they leave again. But because we're drowning in information and we get distracted by so many things, chances are that the potential client will never ever return to the website again. And in that case, all your efforts of the beautiful website are for nothing. So get his email address first, because 97% will never ever return to your website afterwards. So statistics have shown that only 3% of people who visit your website will sign up for your newsletter, which means also that the 97% will check out your website and never return. So at that point, you have to ask yourself, what is the main point for your website? So do you want your website to look pretty, or do you want to make money? You basically have one chance to get his email. Therefore, you should try to capture every single person who is clicking on your ad and then gets redirected to your website. Your website should have a first page that will offer something for free, but in return he has to give you his name and email address, otherwise he will not be able to move forward. Once you have his contact details, they will go into an autoresponder, an email marketing campaign, like for example Aweber or Chimp Mail or whatever you use. And basically you now can contact him over and over again, at least have a chance to sell him something in the future. If you never even get his email, your chance of ever selling something to your prospect is zero. So the first page of your website should therefore be very simple. It's like a landing page. It has like a title with a claim or a promise, and then you have to fill out a form to give your name and your email address. Otherwise, you will not even be able to enter the site. But in return, you will get a free PDF or free video with some value or great message. And then ask yourself, who is your ideal customer? The main principle of defining your ideal customer is a timeless marketing principle. You cannot advertise to everybody because not everybody's going to be your customer. Before you even begin, you should ask yourself what your ideal customer looks like. What is his age? What is his income level? What's the sex? And so forth. So based on that, you should build your marketing strategy. So who is your ideal target group? So go to Google and find the right forum or group. And there are forums and groups about every possible topic. You just need to find it. So doing your homework or your research in advance can make a huge difference in being successful or unsuccessful. Now let's look at types of traffic, because not all clicks are created equal. And there's three types of traffics on the internet. First, cold traffic, which are people who don't know anything about you or your products, but they are problem aware. And then you have warm traffic, who are desire aware, and you have hot traffic, which are product aware. So each one of those groups are in a different stage of the selling process. Cold traffic needs to be made aware of the problem first so that they can develop the desire to do something about it. Basically, this means that you have 3 different email groups to write to each group in a different way. Some people need time for mental digestion, and when you propose a new idea, give the person or the people time to think about it. So why do you need to pre-frame your information before someone is ready to buy so that they have the time to make that decision later, right? So pre-framing is the state of mind and the level of information that a potential customer has. So how much information does he have about a potential problem? Does he even think about it? It is important that the state of mind of your reader, that you know what that is, and that you know what the pre-framing would look like. Let me give you 2 examples. Okay, so for example, you could say, Norman Meier is a scam artist. He cheated me out of my money. He's unethical and he's a liar. Don't trust him. Click here to see his product. How would you react to that? You would say, well, screw that. Okay, so the pre-framing is very negative. Now, second example. Norman is an amazing person. I was lucky to meet him in person, and even though we only talked for an hour, he changed my business and personal life for the better. My company grew over $1 million in sales because of his advice. Click here to see his product. So as you can see, those are 2 different ways of being pre-framed. One can lead to a sale, the other won't. So sometimes it is more important how someone is introduced or being pre-sold, and typically it is better if someone else does it for you rather than you trying to talk about yourself and telling everyone how great you are. And the same is true for any kind of problem or product. So you need to pre-frame your content before you can sell it. You need to build it up. Let's talk about mental triggers. We all think that our decisions are rational and logical, but the truth is that our decisions are based on behaviors and mental triggers. So in order to sell your products more efficiently, you should use a series of mental triggers and layer them throughout your entire sales presentation. Here are some of the main mental triggers and how they work. First, authority. People tend to follow other people who are in positions of authority. Think about doctors in their white coats, for example. Then reciprocity. If someone gives something to us first, we feel some sort of obligation to give them something back in return. If you give your prospect great free content, he's more likely to return the favor and will buy your products in return. So the next one is trust. If you have an established relationship with someone and you trust that person, let's say a parent or teacher or a friend or whatever it is, you will believe what he or she says to you, right? Anticipation. Remember when you were a kid and you couldn't wait for Christmas or your birthday, and deep down we are still all big kids, and the excitement of the anticipation will help you to close a deal. Likability. You will only do business with someone that you like. Otherwise, a sale is not possible. Therefore, you need to work on the relationship with your clients. Community. We act in accordance to how we think people around us are, and in our community are how they act. So this can be a very powerful trigger. So community is another mental trigger. Scarcity. If we perceive something as scarce, we will naturally give it more value. Social proof. If we see other people taking action, let's say they buy a certain product, then we will be inclined to do the same. If the majority of people is doing something, then it can't be wrong, right? And finally, sex. Sex sells. It always has and always will. If you have an attractive person promoting your products, it will give it more appeal. Also, if some people feel like if they buy a Ferrari, let's say, they will attract more women into their lives, as an example. And obviously, you can't use sex appeal in every marketing product, but for some people, it is a very powerful trigger. Now, if you create a product and you offer mental triggers, then you don't just need to create an offer. It should be an unbelievable, crushing offer that they cannot refuse. All people are walking around with problems, and they're walking around with hopes and with dreams and desires and with fear. And they can't sleep because they want solutions and they ponder about their problems. If you can present a solution for them, then they will buy from you. So figure out what all the possible objections could be. Sometimes the only way to discover them is to engage with your prospects. So it is not very hard to stand out in the market with your prospect. Just do a little bit different things than your competitors do. And give value before you're even hinting of asking for a sale. As soon as people think that you want to sell them something, their defenses go up. Don't sound like a typical salesperson. All of us have a BS detector. Once they get the feeling that you don't have their best interest at heart, they will disappear. Trust is everything. It is much easier on the internet to simply close the page and never return. So, long sales letters, for example, have been replaced with long sales videos. And usually they're like 20 or 30 minutes long. And so here are 3 reasons why people are not buying your products. First, they're not interested in what you're selling. Second, they don't have the money. Or third, they don't believe you or they don't trust you. So you need to establish trust and authority first. Trust and authority are closely linked. It is easier to establish authority when you have trust. So by sharing great content in a pre-launch video, for example, you will establish the authority that you need to make a sale. Authority and reciprocity are 2 of the critical and super powerful mental triggers necessary to make a sale. People tend to follow others in position of authority. Scarcity and social proof are also very important and also closely connected. So if something is scarce, it implies that there is a higher demand in the market. The secret is to layer all the mental triggers. The perception of scarcity motivates people. If there are fewer things available, it forces people to make a decision. Things like gold or Rolexes or Ferraris appear to be less available. Anticipation is also crucial in selling a product online. You have to build up the product. You have to start with a pressing problem, provide a solution, and explain why your product is the ideal product for that problem. Jeff Walker uses 4 videos over the course of 10 days to sell his products, and during that time he builds up anticipation. So always deliver high value and surprise them with extra bonuses that they didn't expect. Now, I want to give you an example of selling with curiosity. If you're interested in a webinar from T. Harv Eker, for example, he will send you the following email. And please read the following text here. So there are 6 principles that T. Harv Eker believes were the difference from him being broke and having 14 different jobs in 12 years and to produce $500 million worth of products and almost having 2 million students worldwide. You want to know what those keys are? And then you read the text, for example, and so forth, and then you will find, okay, that he uses curiosity as his #1 tool and doesn't actually give you any real information. He uses the main title, Zero to Millionaire, in his example here, which applies to most people because almost everybody's at zero today and wants to become a millionaire one day. And he pretends that there is some sort of secret knowledge that you can learn. And of course, everybody wants to know the secret to financial success. And he uses credibility by mentioning how many students he has and how much he sold. And people can relate to being broke like he once was. And then there's only one step to continue, which is to sign up for his free seminar. Okay? So just be smart. Next time you look at an offer, ask yourself how it is done and why this person is using the strategy that he's using. Use video messages instead of text, and this is the human connection. People today are sick and tired of being treated like a number. They prefer personalized service from real people and they want to feel the interaction. And here are some tips on how to do this. Don't always try to sell something right away. Give value first, ask general questions about a topic, and find out what people want and how they think about it. And then use videos and pictures of you to make it more personal. Reply to their comments in blogs or on social media. Connect on a personal level and also mention personal things from your everyday life from time to time. Now, there are too many lies and too much BS in the market. Authenticity, honesty, and fairness will attract more customer than BS. 65% of the people don't believe a word that companies put out there. They think that most of it is BS. So always tell the truth, because the world is full of lies. Actually, that's an understatement. We're bathing in lies. We buy lies. We eat lies for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. And most companies are the biggest lie factories around. But at the core, we don't buy any of it. So let's say get your free credit report is a scam because at the end, you know, they must make some money somehow because either they will trick you into signing up for a monthly fee or do something else. And people don't believe companies when the commercial is, let's say, too perfect and made too professionally. In today's marketplace, everything is about authenticity and personality. People don't want to deal with big corporations, but rather with a normal person that they can relate to. You can be somewhat unprofessional, but if you're real and authentic and honest, then people will trust you more. So a lot of people use simple videos that are very personal because people can relate to them better. Some people also use pictures of the family, like with the wife and the kids, to show that they're good and regular people just like anybody else and that they can be trusted. Today on the internet, everything is all about trust. And the best way to gain trust is to build up a relationship with your autoresponders, giving out free material, using personalized video messages so that people can relate to it. And don't ever refer to yourself as we. No one wants to deal with a faceless corporation. People want to connect with people. If you use testimonials, then you could use the phrase, don't just take my word for it, take a look at what others are saying. Testimonials are another way to build up trust and authority, and use as many as possible, and ideally use videos instead of text. Now let's talk about the value ladder and the steps that are involved. So first, offer a bait or a free product, so to speak, and then keep selling them one product after another, and that gets more and more expensive. So let's say if I said to you, give me $100,000 and I will grow your company. You would laugh at me in my face and you would say that I'm insane. It's because so far you don't know me yet and what I can do for you, and I haven't even provided any kind of value yet. But if I say to you that if I make an offer, let's say for $19.95 for a book with great tips on how to make more money, would you order it? The price is low and you have the chance to receive some value in a non-threatening way. This will help to see if you like the experience. And once you have received some value, you may become more interested in what else I have to offer, and then you are willing to pay $1,000 for my seminar or even $5,000 for my intensive one-on-one study course. So a percentage of your audience will always pay a higher premium to get more value. And the main goal is to have a value ladder with an inexpensive product first, and then a second product that is a little bit more expensive, and so on. And the value ladder exists in all kinds of businesses. Let's say if you get a voucher for a free teeth cleaning, and when you go to the dentist, then they might do a general checkup to see if you have some cavities. And then they will propose to fix them, let's say at a cost for $500 to $1,000. But after then, they might ask for a correction and sell you braces or a teeth whitening kit for several hundred or thousands of dollars. And whatever the product might be, it all started with a free teeth cleaning. But you gotta spend more money in the end. So when you promote your own information-based products on the internet, then your value ladder could look something like this. So you offer a free product or a product for, let's say, $9.95, where you receive a brochure, a book, a PDF, or a report, or whatever. The next step could be $100 for your learning course. Then the following could be $500 video series of a recorded seminars. And after that, $2,000 for your extensive home study course and videos and program and whatever. And finally, your 3-day seminar for $5,000. So typically, you will start with the least expensive product first and then go through the value ladder. And the more experience he has made with you, the more money he's willing to spend. So the goal is to get every client initially into your funnel to buy your cheapest product and then turn them eventually into the $5,000 clients. And that is actually where you make your money. So if the price is low, let's say $9.95, you have the chance to receive some value in a non-threatening way, which allows the client to see if they like the experience. But based on that, obviously he might consider buying your home study course or your seminar or your super program for, let's say, $10,000. Ideally, you would like to sell, obviously, your most expensive products first to your dream clients, but that isn't possible or realistic because you haven't provided any kind of value first. So it is impossible to build a company just offering high-end services for, let's say, $5,000 or $10,000. So you need to start to place ads with your initial bait to potential customers, and a certain percentage of those people will purchase your front-end offer, whatever that might be, for very cheap. And eventually you will get your dream clients who spend more and more and who will spend the thousands of dollars. And the more dream clients you get, the more are you able to spend on your bait, on your offering in the beginning. And it's also, for example, very difficult to sell a $15,000 product by email, okay? So that's why you need to change sometimes, or in that case, the selling environment. Because those kind of products can only be sold in person, over the phone, in a live event, at a seminar, in a personal meeting, or whatever. So maybe you could can create an entire process with your free or inexpensive products that line up to the last step in your value ladder of products. Maybe you give away lots of product at an expense at first, but eventually you'll need, let's say, 20 clients who will spend $15,000, and that's your actual goal. The magic of the word free. Remember, the free cheese is in the mousetrap. There's always something really strange that happens when people read the word free. There was once an experiment done with college students, and they offered cheap Hershey's chocolate kisses for 1 cent each, and at the same time they offered the premium chocolate for 25 cents. Okay, and about 50% chose the cheap one for 1 cent, and 50% chose the premium chocolate. And then they did another experiment where they lowered the price of each chocolate piece by 1 cent, which meant that the Hershey's Kisses that were 1 cent before now were free, and the premium chocolate was 24 cents. And the result was 90% chose the free Kisses, even though the price reduction was exactly the same, because the word free changes everything. Generosity will always be reciprocated, and it must be part of your system. In business, giving is less like an arrow, it's more like a boomerang. It always comes back to you. So think about the most amazing results that you can get for your clients and find out what their biggest problem is right now and what you can solve for them. So put that in information in a book, in a CD, DVD, or whatever, and give it away for free. And if you give it away for free, you will reap the rewards on the back end. Also, you can use a one-time offer when you are offering a upselling after your initial purchase. So when you do an initial offer, let's say you offer a free book, for example, you will incur cost for yourself for the production of the book, and also for running your ads on Facebook or Google, whatever. Now, one way to make sure that you don't spend too much money upfront is that you can upgrade your offer after your initial offer, which means an upsell offer after initial purchase can cost, let's say, anywhere from $25 to $75. And the main goal is that this front-end product offer covers the expenses of buying your traffic. You hope to break even because if you structure it the right way, you won't have any traffic costs and the upsell offer becomes pure profit. So in general, a free plus shipping offer will lose money on the front end, but if you use an upsell to break even or to make a profit, then that's better. So first, you have to attract people with a free video, a free ebook, which is a lead magnet on your squeeze or landing page. And typically my bribe to give them an email address is something that I will show them on the next page in the video once they have confirmed their email address, so that I know that the person has actually given me an authentic email address. Now, focus only on getting one thing, because a confused mind always says no. Statistics have shown that if someone checks out your website, it will take an average of 7 visits before he buys a product from you. The problem is that most websites are too confusing and they have way too many things to offer. And if you have too many things on your website, no one will buy your products. It is much smarter to keep your website very simple. You have one headline, for example, like how to double your income in 6 months, or how to create perfect gardens without using any fertilizers, or how to have perfect teeth without damaging your enamel. And then offer a free video or PDF report in exchange for his name and email address. And that is all that should be on your website. And then there's only one choice. He either does it or he doesn't. So, but if you have to make sure that you can provide real value in your video or your PDF report, then you must give him also your best tips. And at the end of the video, you can say something like, so if you like this one tip, I have 8 or 9 just like this one in the following product. And the main thing is to capture his email address and his name so that you can keep contacting him in the future regardless whether or not he will buy your products right now. But if you don't get his email address or name, he will be gone forever and you have never had a chance to offer him a product again. Also, remember what Albert Einstein said. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand it yourself. Use clear headlines and answer the question, what is in it for me? The headlines don't have to be smart or complicated because we'll only confuse the average customer. So what is the result for the customer? Because the price doesn't really matter. Important is the result that the customer will get. Maybe you think that a $5,000 product is too much for your product, but what is the financial benefit in the future for your client if he uses your product? Will he be able to make more than $5,000? If the answer is yes, then your price is okay because you're not selling a product, but you're selling an end result. What result do you want to give them? I'm not talking about what product or service you want to sell. A business is not about products or services. A business is about what results you can get for your clients. So once you and your clients have understood this concept, then the price is no longer a barrier. Let's talk about lists. The bigger the list, the bigger your income. So in order to grow your online business, you must grow your email list. And in order to gain the trust of your customers, you must develop a relationship and it must be frequent. So the best way to do this is by email or by email autoresponder like Aweber or MailChimp or whatever I mentioned. So the main goal is to grow your list of email subscribers so that you can make more money. And the longer your list is, obviously, the better. And Russell Brunson, he actually made an interesting discovery between the amount of email subscribers and his monthly income. And here's the result. So if you have 200 names, let's say, your income is $200 per month. If you have 1,000 names, your income is $1,000 per month. And if you have 100,000 names, your income is $100,000 per month. It is interesting to see that every name is basically equivalent to $1 per month in sales. So the goal is to grow your list constantly because you're also going to lose a certain amount of people every month. So what is your goal in regards to your email subscribers, customers, and so forth? Because a license to print money is your list. So obviously you want a responsive list. And it's better to have a list of 100 people where 60%, which means 60 people, let's say, open your emails, then have a list with 1,000 names where only, let's say, 1% or 10 people read your message. And Jeff Walker says that the secret to having a responsive list and a license to print money is to interact with your list and build a relationship with your audience. People are starving for a human connection, and the way to build a relationship is to answer your blog posts, to respond to emails, and start an interactive conversation with your audience or your list. And most people will start to buy your product when they feel they know you or they've seen you talk in videos or seminars or read your materials. And they start to develop a connection with you and eventually they will start to trust you. And that's when they're ready to buy. So how can you build an email marketing list? Well, there are several ways to build your list. You can spend, let's say, $20 per day on a Facebook ad where people click on a link that has one headline or a promise, let's say, how to make $100,000 a year with your business, as just an example. And typically a statement or a promise that makes people curious works the best. Then you redirect them to a landing page where they can download the free PDF report or get a video with great tips. But before they will get it, they have to give you their email and name first. Email building lists requires patience. Even if you only get 3 or 4 subscribers per day in the beginning, you will eventually get 30 per day, which means 900 a month, which means 10,800 per year. And once you have 10,000 names, you can make several $100,000 per year. So be patient and start small. Also, create buyers, not just subscribers. What do I mean by that? A buyer is a buyer is a buyer. That's a statement from Dan Kennedy, marketing Genius. If someone is willing to buy from you once, they will continue to buy from you as long as you keep offering them value. It is easier to sell to someone who has already bought from you in the past than to generate a new client. And in order to pre-qualify a potential buyer, you should offer them a free physical product where he only has to pay, let's say, $5 or $8 in shipping. And if he's a real buyer, he will pay for the shipping. And these types of people will take action. There's a huge difference between buyers and subscribers. You should also have two different email lists and treat them differently. Once you get someone to say yes first, then it's easier to get the second yes. You can qualify someone as a buyer if they pull out their credit card to pay for the shipping, for example. If they're not even willing to pay for the shipping or for the free physical product, then they probably aren't going to buy your other products later either. So receiving something physical in the mail also has a higher perceived value than receiving a digital information in your email inbox. Give your best material or value first. The reason why you should give your best material first is that people will get value from you, and that's when they will learn about you and eventually buy your products. When you give out content or value first, you're creating a large imbalance of reciprocity. Lots of people worry about giving away too much of the good content during their, let's say, pre-launch of their product. They worry that if they give away too much, their prospect won't need to buy their products. But this is rarely the problem. The main mistake is far more often that people are not giving away the high quality content first. Ruth Basinski is a licensed psychologist. She actually gives away the bulk of her content if you're willing to be on each webinar live. And you can theoretically listen to all of them for free and get the content without spending a single dollar. But people will buy her products anyway because she delivers high quality value. And there's a statement from John Romero. I've seen in marketing only one strategy that can't miss, and that is to market to your best customers first, your best prospects second, and to the rest of the world last. Remember, people love to buy. Find out where their pain is right now. And when someone is in pain, they want relief. Spend more money and they will buy fast from you. So what drives people to buy? What is the problem that they have that is painful and urgent that you can provide a solution for? Let's look at Jeff Walker's product launch formula. The product launch formula, and he has his book called Launch, is a system that has sold over $500 million worth of product, which means it works. So he teaches you how to build up a product so that people on your email list will be motivated to buy it. So the essence of the product launch formula is to structure your content into a sequence that it naturally builds up to your sale. Instead of using, let's say, a 10-page sales letter, create 4 videos over the course of 10 days. Basically, you build up excitement over 4 videos and eventually give them a date to buy your product. And there are 3 steps that you need to follow. First, start with the problem. Second, provide a solution. Third, provide value. Remember, tactics come and go, but strategy is forever. So the reason why the product launch formula works is because it's based on strategy. Tools can change, but strategy endures. One of the main principles of the product launch formula is to build up anticipation. You need to use mental triggers such as authority, social proof, and so forth to get your client into the right frame of mind. And the time before anyone can buy any products is called the pre-launch. And in a pre-launch, which is typically between 5 and 10 days long, during that time you should use videos or audio or PDFs, so forth, to build up the excitement and then define a date for your open cart. So how do you start from scratch? Well, Tara, for example, who learned about the product launch formula, had no list and no product. And she pulled together a list of about 200 people from her personal email inbox and her social media contacts. Then she started to promote her pre-launch product. And the product was a self-help training program called You're Perfect. And within a week, she made $3,000 in sales selling 5 spots in her training program. So the product was a series of 6 teleseminars along with worksheets and templates, and she didn't even have a finished product yet. And each week she prepared the content for each or the next teleseminar. And with the momentum of her initial success, she grew her list of email subscribers to 1,000. And in her next launch, she made over $12,000 in sales. So as you can see, you can start with nothing and build yourself up. Another great way to do this is to do reverse engineering. And Tony Robbins said, if you want to be successful, find out someone who has achieved the result that you want, copy what they do, and then you will achieve the same result. So how does your sales funnel look like? Is it successful? If not, then you should reverse engineer the funnel, which is the sales and marketing process, from the best or from the people where you actually bought the products from. So you need to find the people who already been successful with their funnel and who are selling exactly the same product or to the same market that you would like to sell to. And pretend to be a client and go through the entire process and figure out from where they're getting their traffic, and that's where you also must advertise. So use their analytics and traffic to redirect it to your site. For example, demographics, which more? Age, sex, education, income level, location, race, language, political views, hobbies, and so forth. And if you put a, let's say, fitness supplement product in front of seniors with diabetes, it's not going to sell because you need to put the right message in front of the right audience. If you want to sell horse saddles, you should advertise in a forum where people with horses post their comments, right? Then the offer. So find out what is your competitor's offer. Typically, the main moneymaker is not going to be the first product. They will use a low-priced offer to get people in the door because the real moneymaker will be further down the line. That is why you must be able to see the entire iceberg and series of products until you can find out what this is. And then your landing page. You need to use what is already working. So the reason why people are not making money is because they're not following a proven model. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. That is the secret. Then landing page. You need to use what is already working. And the reason why people are not making any money is because they're not following a proven model. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. Where is your competitor's traffic coming from? Does he use videos, emails? Where does he buy his ads? On social media or on banner ads? Do you not have to create traffic because the traffic is already out there? All he has to do is try to find out where it is and then tap into it and redirect it to your offer. Find out what is already working and then copy it. Okay, this is when it comes to marketing ads or to copy. And then your competitors. Studying competitors or even indirect product providers can be a huge eye-opener. What is an indirect competitor? Okay, that is a company that doesn't exactly sell the same products like you do, but they're selling to the same market. For example, you might sell a supplement to seniors with arthritis. And an indirect competitor would be someone selling, let's say, a walking device to seniors. So the product is completely different, but the target market is the same. So find out what they are doing and where they are advertising. There are several tools that you can use in your internet marketing. And here are some examples. So you have to, let's say, qualify with an application or a questionnaire. Some people try to pre-qualify a prospect by having them fill out a questionnaire, which they can use as a sales tool. They can say, we only accept cool people in our program. And let's say, who doesn't want to be cool? So please don't apply if you're uncool. Then there's also, let's say, a video series from, there's Raul Villasis, the founder of the Next Level Experience, The Edge. Maybe you've seen it. He uses 2 5-minute videos to attract his kind of people and no one else. He says, this program is not for everyone. If I use coarse language or insult you anyway, then this program is not for you. Please turn off the video right now. If not, watch the second video. So basically, he takes away the product from the client, builds up trust, and make the people curious. And then finally, risk reversal. By taking away the risk from making a wrong buying decision, you should always give the option to take away the risk, because 90% of people will not change their mind, but it will help those who are on the edge with making a decision. If you want my solution, you could sign up for my expert course. Normally I charge $3,500 to attend, but I'm going to do a couple really cool things for you. For example, I'm going to give you a huge 90% discount. And second, if you're going to pay for it, and only if you like it, and if for any reason you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it, and so forth. Okay, so that's like a risk reversal offer. And then finally, urgency and call to action. You always need to have a reason why the person must act now or very soon. If a person has too much time to think about it, they will eventually forget all the advantages and the excitement will go down. Therefore, you can use things like, the webinar starts tomorrow, or there's only 5 seats left, or you ordered 500 books and most of them are already gone, or the video will go offline in 2 days. So fake urgency, be careful here, will only cost you credibility. It will backfire, so never do it. But if you say something, then you have to follow through. So this was the first part of internet marketing success, and the second part is on a different recording. So thank you very much for listening.